Nia Jax hits back at WarGames criticism, plus Penta officially departs AEW, and has the reason for a shock WWE title change been revealed? It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Oh, Nia Jax, you are not like most girls. She's not, is she?
No.
She's not like most girls. And she got a bit of grief following her appearance at WarGames, didn't she?
Yeah, she got a steel chair out. Looks like she was going to get Naomi right on top of the head. But of course, because of the protocol being, you can't hit people up because we live in a world where CTE is a thing, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Nia was like, no, bitch, and went to the side. But went to the side in a really soft fashion.
And hit a couple of very soft chair shots in and around there. So some of her work in the WarGames match has been critiqued online, in particular that bout of chair shots. One person tweeting somewhat defensively saying, I love Nia, but there are times where she is too worried about harming her opponents, so the move kind of looks fake or sloppy. She improved though. Nia Jax responded to this with a quote tweet saying, lol, I love the emotions I evoke from you all. Thank you.
I guess, yeah. No noise is a bad thing. Some noise is a good thing. I don't know what the rationale is there.
There was obviously for many years, we've talked about it a lot. I think we've done a video about it on this channel whereby we talk about like how Nia Jax had a rep for being quite aggressive in a predetermined sport. And I think that she has made great strides and improved, as this person there says. But there was a few moments during the match where it didn't look so much. One person sharing a photo of Io Sky's custom trash can from the match itself, suggesting that this should be Nia Jax's profile picture from now on.
Yeah, and she responded, OMG, those are my colours. Thank you. When you get into a ring to entertain people, leave your family, miss out on life events, pour your blood, sweat and tears to do so, I want to be front row because regardless of the outcome, I want to congratulate you on being vulnerable.
She was there. There was a few of these have been removed now. Some of these comments from Nia Jax's Twitter. I think I saw somebody put out a comment saying we need to have a conversation about Nia Jax's in-ring performance. To which Nia Jax quote retweeted it saying, "I'm seated," and then the person went very, very quiet. So there was. I think Nia wasn't taking prisoners just after Survivor Series, which I kind of get as a wrestler. You do put it out there, and then when people do come at you, as we are one to do as well, I guess that you do sometimes have dessert. You absolutely should have the right to reply.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because once upon a time, as we've said, she was criticised for being too hard. Now she's criticised for being too soft. Is she that thing with the three bears?
I was about to say the three bears.
Yes.
And in the next WarGames match, she hit them just right. Then the police were called. Sky Blue was spoken to by the Chicago Wolves analyst Billy Gardner. This was during a Wednesday wrestling night event at the Chicago Wolves game. And she gave us an update on when we'll see her back in AEW.
Yeah, she says, we're getting there. It's hard sitting at home and watching Kyle Fletcher go to work and being like, I feel fine. I can walk. I can wrestle, right? Then I'm like, oh, no, I can't. But we're getting there. I just want to come back fully healthy so I can go crazy and do all my hardcore matches and be 100%.
Yeah, I miss Sky Blue, actually. I feel like she was really gaining some momentum with a heel turn. I feel like she was really finding her voice. And then she just disappeared.
Yeah. Completely derailed. It's never nice to see, is it, Tom?
Never nice to see, and we wish her a full and speedy recovery for Sky Blue. Yeah. Speaking of the AEW roster, one less member as of today. Penta officially gone.
Yeah, Fightful Select revealed that Penta's contract has now officially expired and he is no longer signed with AEW, making him one of those bloody free agents. Bloody hell. After being reportedly planned to win the AEW World Trios titles at All In 2024 this summer alongside Death Triangle, rumours of talks with WWE spread, leading to plans changing for Penta and Rey Fenix, and both members of the Lucha Brothers were ultimately taken off AEW programming and not used again. But what about the other brother, Tom?
That is a very good question. Rey Fenix still under contract with AEW. His deal reportedly stretching into next year. There are no plans creatively for AEW to use him. I guess it's tantamount to gardening leave for Penta currently, where he's just going to be sat on the bench waiting to come back. Fightful Select adds that there is heavy interest on the indies to bring Penta in for some marquee matches as well as Rey Fenix. I think eventually a WWE run will be on the cards.
Get him signed, whoever you are. Try and get him in.
Yeah.
Highest bid's the winner, probably. That's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, that is exactly how it works. To the highest bidder they go. Oh yeah, I see them definitely doing a few indie dates before WWE snap them up. And I think it's a frustration that we can't get them now. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to play the waiting game, and the idea being that over time there'll be less of a demand for them. But I think as soon as they're ready, they're gonna hit the indies for a bit, and then they go WWE.
Why has this happened though, Tom?
Well, it's happened because Ray Penta got injured. Sorry, Ray Phoenix got injured. Yeah. So this is injury time being added onto the end. Which is why I just mean like how we ended up where Penta and Ray Phoenix are leaving AEW. Oh, I thought you meant how in general.
Just because they're both absolutely fantastic at what they do, universally popular whenever they get used. How the hell has this happened?
They are two of several anomalies within the AEW roster. Whilst there are some guys who are living their best life on telly in AEW, there are some for unknown reasons who just don't get that same luxury. Ricky Starks is one that constantly keeps coming up in somebody that is absolutely at the top of his game, at the peak of his health and in the prime of his life, and he's just, as he is very openly talking about, he's been frozen out of AEW, and just when it looked like he was going to get some stuff on the indie scene, that was all stopped completely. So there is some unrest between certain members of the AEW roster, and I'm sad that we find ourselves in a situation where the Lucha Bros, where there was nothing creatively enough for the Lucha Bros to make them stay, but we're playing silly buggers about letting them go.
Yeah. But after you saying all that, at least we have the solace just to remind ourselves that we still get a learning tree segment every single week. While there's people being frozen out.
Phew.
What a relief.
Let's get an update on AEW's Kota Ibushi. He's another one that's been a bit conspicuous by his absence. He spoke to Tokyo Sports this week about his career and the toll that it has taken on his body.
Yeah, he says, my legs are at their limit and it could end at any time. I want it to keep going before I can't do it anymore. I'm really at the limit, but I want to contribute to the world of professional wrestling before I end my career, so I'm currently appearing in various places.
This is also after photos emerged of Ibushi over the weekend with what looks like a gnarly staph infection on his back.
But could also be a plaster. We're not too sure if it's actually a staph infection. The internet seems divided on this.
I really hope that we get like a healthy Kota Ibushi for a little longer, as he's made it very clear that his time is running short, but I want to see him do something big in AEW beforehand.
And it feels like we've always got to say it when we talk about Kota, it's surprising how old he is, Tom, and how many miles are in those legs.
Oh my God, a lot of miles in those legs. Hopefully, as he kind of very much says, like, oh, I'm appearing in various places. I want to, do as much as I can before I go. Hopefully, he's got some exciting things up his sleeve, consequently, before he wraps up his career. Do you know what I've got up my sleeve?
I don't know, Tom. A couple of arms?
No! Up to 50% off at cultaholicshop.com. Look at that! Get yourself on there right now because it's nearly Christmas, Ross. Don't know whether you noticed.
No, Tom.
I didn't notice until this weekend. I was too busy getting bloody married. Forgot that it was Christmas coming up. But you can get yourself some of the new Cultaholic merch, some of the classic Cultaholic merch for up to 50% off across the store at cultaholicshop.com. Oh, I don't know what to get Auntie Belinda this Christmas. How about 3 Faces of Pachiti Wrestling
Why
buddies?
not? She can throw them in the bin.
or throw them in the bin, put them on her head, and jump off the cage like you guys did.
Aye.
That's what Auntie Belinda's going to do with your help. Cultaholicshop.com.
And the discount automatically gets applied at the checkout.
Yeah, because I can't be bothered putting in a code.
Oh.
I'm busy. I'm a busy housewife.
Yeah.
I haven't got time to put in a code.
We're not all Kota Ibushi, are we?
What do I look like? A hacker from the internet?
Yeah.
What do I look like? Bill Gates? I don't know what code is. You don't need to. Up to 50% off at cultaholicshop.com. Let's end talking about Survivor Series and the shocker involving L.A. Knight.
No.
He didn't look like a man that was going to retain the title at Survivor Series, did he?
He looked like someone had pissed on his chips before he walked out. His pre-match chips were covered in piss.
He looked like he'd got a rather large gas bill just before he walked out to the ring that night, and consequently, in short form and short order, he lost the United States title to a new-look Shinsuke Nakamura. And there's some reasoning behind this, it seems.
Yeah, the Wrestling Observer say Shinsuke Nakamura's US title win was pushed big on Noah, or in Noah, because Nakamura versus Ulka Sasaki will be on the Noah 1-1 New Year's Day show at Budokan Hall. This could potentially be the reason for the title change, just to get, the guy with the belt walking on a different show, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's just having that title belt around the waist of Shinsuke Nakamura as he walks into Pro Wrestling Noah, I think makes it feel a little bit bigger. We don't know whether or not they'll make it a US title match.
You would do now, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know, because you had the Judgment Day at OTT recently. in the main event there. And they didn't put the tag titles on the line.
But that's what they always do, Tom. That's why we had the tag team tournament, those Irish bastards. Never ever wrestle, do they?
They never wrestle. They never wrestle. So whether or not this is a slightly different rule and they just say, you know what, let's give Ulka Sasaki a shot at the US title. Nakamura eventually winning. And I think as well, it was somebody I was speaking to over the weekend where with LA Knight, I think he's a guy that they want to keep around for a while. So you've got to build up those title reigns for LA Knight. You've got to lose a few to win a few.
I hope so, because I made it one of my WTF moments, the way the commentary team was speaking about LA Knight, this man who was blinded 24 hours before he wrestles, but apparently he's got blind confidence in himself, and he thinks he's John Cena, but not everyone's John Cena. And the fact I'm expecting backstage trouble with LA Knight to be a thing in a few weeks' time. You watch the news, it'll happen, and we'll come back here and think Ross is an oracle.
Wait a minute, WTF moments, you say?
Yeah.
Where can I watch them?
Patreon.com/Cultaholic later on today, AEW Full Gear WTF moments tomorrow.
And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Bye. Love it. Bye.